Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Vulcar Nebula Turbo in Grand Theft Auto Online. I haven't customized this thing for quite some time, and I figured we would give it another run today because it is on sale this week. So anyways, we're going to hop inside of the Nebula Turbo here and get going into Los Santos Customs. Now, this is going to take a while because this car likes to spin the wheels a lot and not go anywhere. So that is something to note with the Vulcar Nebula Turbo. If you plan on launching this thing very fast or anything like that, think twice on that. Anyways, we're going to start off with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on that. For the brakes as well, we're going to go all the way up. Bumpers, we do have front and rear options for this vehicle. I'm not sure which one I want to pick. I actually kind of like the stock bumper, honestly, but I do kind of like the rally fogs as well. So maybe we go for those. I don't know. I just feel like they might be too much, you know, like it's adding too much to the car. I feel like maybe honestly just keeping it stock. I feel like stock looks really good. Maybe we go for the primary front bumper actually. Let's do that just to add something to the car. Let's also go for the primary rear as well. For the engine, we are going to go all the way up on that. The exhaust, we have quite a few different ones here. I kind of think the Epic Bean can is the way to go, obviously. I mean, it says Epic Bean in, you know, the first two words of the sentence, so I think that's the way to go. We could sticker bomb the fenders if we want to. Not a super big fan of it though, so we'll leave that alone. For the grille, we can go for the plain grille. We can go for the grille fogs and the grille fogs and light covers. Not a big fan of that. Honestly, I think we're going to go for the plain grille. I think removing those two lights makes this thing look just a little bit better. For the hood, we have a carbon hood, a sticker bomb hood, a rusty hood, exposed turbo hood as well. We got the exposed twin turbo hood because drift car and no words needed. I think I want to do the single exposed turbo. I think that looks pretty cool. We're gonna try to tie that into the build a little bit. For the lights, we are gonna go xenon for sure. For the neon kit, I think I am actually gonna add one for some additional sort of traction, or well, not really traction, but to lower the center of gravity of the car, which will make it handle ever so slightly better. So let's do that. For the neon color on this, what do we want to do? Do we want to leave it white? Maybe. I think I kind of like it in white, honestly. So let's leave it white for right now. We might change it later. Now we do have some livery options for this car. We got the 70s called the Nordic Racer, the geometric camo, razzle dazzle, roadkill. We got the keeping it real. We have the Rusty Shark, the Hawaiian Snow Rally, the Steampunk, the Oodles of Doodles, and Back to None. If there's one that I'm going to add, it's going to be the 70s called. I think that looks pretty cool. So let's actually add that onto the car right now. For the louvers, we can add some if we choose to. I don't actually hate the look of them. Maybe we will actually add some louvers onto this car. I feel like it fits pretty well, so let's do that. Now we can go for some mud flaps too. I'm not a super big fan of it though, so we'll leave those. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I see. It has mud flaps by default. I didn't even notice. Yeah, we'll just leave the mud flaps alone, I think. Yellow and black for the plate though, we will go for that. For the respray of this car, I'm thinking I want to go black. I think it would look sick in like a metallic black. Let's try it out. Let's see what the secondary looks like in the black as well. This thing's pretty like lethal. I want it to kind of look like a bit of a sleeper. Obviously there is an exposed turbo through the hood, which is kind of gonna give us away, but I think it looks kind of good in black. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's keep that. Roll cage, do we want to add one? If we could do a half cage, I totally would, but I can't do the full roll cage. I just don't think it looks good. Now for the roof, we can do a couple of different things here. I do kind of like the large roof rack on this car. I think that looks kind of cool. Let's add that onto the car. For the spoiler, we can go for the sticker bomb trunk. Weird. Carbon trunk, the rusty trunk, the sports wing, the mid-level wing, the drift wing, and the race wing, of course. I like the race wing. It's pretty like low-key. Oh, but it adds those in. Yeah, it adds those into the back. I'm not a big fan of that. Okay, let's just go for the regular sports wing, or do we want to go for the mid-level wing? I think the mid-level wing is actually a little better looking. Let's do that one. For the suspension, we are going to slam this thing all the way down for sure. For the transmission, let's go all the way up on that. The turbo as well. Actually, for the suspension, maybe we don't slam it all the way. I kind of like the first option, like just lowered. Let's do that. I like that a little better. For the wheels on this vehicle, I feel like something, maybe sports could work. What about some endos? Do we have some endos in here we can go for? Some endo V1s. They look kind of good with this, honestly. Let's do it. Endo V1s. For the color of these, what do we want to do though? Do we want to go for like a stone silver? We could go for a white. What about an orange to match? Oh, that's kind of sick actually. I feel like that matches up pretty good with the livery. I could be totally wrong, but it's kind of bright. Like it's kind of really bright. Maybe we don't do it. I don't know. It would be kind of fun, but I don't know. What about bronze though? We could go for some bronze wheels. Dark copper. Let's go bronze. Let's go bronze on the wheels today. For the tires, we are going to bulletproof them for sure. And for the windows, we are going to tint them, I think, all the way out. I think it just looks a little cleaner. So I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out, actually. Let's go ahead and take it outside. We're going to do a sound test on this vehicle and, of course, a full review as well. So let's see how she sounds. And I'm interested to see. Okay, yeah, it still has about just an insane amount of wheel spin. Awesome. Okay, let's take a listen. So it doesn't sound like spectacular or anything really. It sounds pretty basic in all honesty. This car is really fun though. I gotta say, this car is super fun. It's very, very driftable. This might honestly be one of the best drift cars in the entire game. I'm starting to kind of remember my last customization, my last review of this car, and this thing, it's definitely not meant to do anything other than drift and like cruise around. Like you are not going to win a race with this vehicle, and you shouldn't ever think that you have a chance of doing so such a thing with the Nebula Turbo. It's just not what this car is meant for, which is fine, but that does kind of mean that the performance generally is a little bit on the weaker side. The acceleration is okay once you get up to like probably 20 miles an hour, and getting to 20 is going to take you about 3 seconds, so it's kind of slow. It's kind of really slow, especially off the line. However, once you do get it going, it does pick up speed, I would say decently well. The handling, once you're up to speed as well, is actually pretty good. It definitely oversteers a little bit. It is, you know, like I said, supposed to be a drift car. I think primarily more so than anything. So, you know, it's not going to handle super well, but you can hit some crazy slides in this thing, as you guys can see, like I'm doing right now. The Nebula is very fun in that aspect. When it comes to drifting this thing, it's you know, it really is one of the best drift cars in the entire game. I think it honestly is better than the Futo, which I think the Futo is generally regarded as like the best drift car in GTA. But I think that the Nebula Turbo might honestly be just a little bit better. This car is super good. I also like that this thing has as much customization as it does. I wish it had a little bit more even, but the customization is pretty good on this thing. And you know, when you're going through these corners and you're not under acceleration, the car actually handles pretty decently, I gotta say. And even when you are under acceleration, it is still manageable. Like, you don't have to drift necessarily. It does have a huge oversteer bias, I will just say that for sure, but it's not like impossible to drive, you know what I mean? So overall, the Nebula Turbo, it's a decent car. I will say I think the top speed is probably really weak on this thing, and if you're looking for just a car to like kind of cruise around in, I think that the Nebula could be good, but you're definitely going to be sacrificing some things like acceleration and top speed for sure, as well as the handling. It's not that great. With that being said, it is still very fun. So if you guys are in the market for a drift car, the Nebula Turbo is definitely one that I would recommend picking up for sure. But if you're looking for something to get you around the map, like, and you know, be fun to drive and, you know, handle well and, you know, accelerate well, have a good top speed and all that, I don't think that the Nebula Turbo is going to be for you. Now, while it's on sale this week for about $550,000, I think it is actually a pretty good car to pick up. This thing regularly goes for just under $800,000. So if you guys are interested at all in the Nebula Turbo, I would recommend picking it up now rather than later, because obviously it is on sale for about 30% off. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say about the Nebula Turbo. Pick this thing up if you guys are interested. Don't wait. It's probably not going to go on sale for a long time. So if you guys want this thing, make sure you take care of that this week. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. That's it for my customization and review. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, dislike if you didn't, of course. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.